Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to World of Warships. Hurrah! It's been a while since I did one of these, so I thought, yeah, why not? Let's give people an idea of how I'm finding the game, and obviously show you some more games, because yeah, why not? Before I move on any further, a big thank you to the Black Rose, who pointed out or suggested that if I wanted to get some tips and whatnot on playing carriers, that I should go and check out iChase Gaming. So I did, and it has been very helpful. Now, I haven't played that many games in carriers still. I'm not very good in them still, but iChase was a big help. So anyone else playing Warships and you want some carrier advice, I do recommend going over and checking out iChase Gaming. For those who don't know, he was actually the guy who won the carrier section of Jingle's latest latest replay contest. Anyway, what did I want to mention? Oh yeah, so in previous videos I have complained and moaned about torpedoes. I have since kind of slightly changed my opinion on torpedoes. If you're keeping your wits about you, generally speaking, you can avoid the worst of ship-launched torpedoes, because, you know, usually they come from either a cruiser, who you will see coming, or a destroyer. And, you know, a destroyer, if you see an area filled with smoke, there's a destroyer over there, so bring your ship front on to that, or rear on, if that makes sense, so you're not giving that region of smoke where the destroyer likely is your broadside. And if you get spotted and you can't see anyone who would be close enough to spot you, guess what that means? There's a destroyer around, so keep your wits about you. So generally speaking, I haven't found those to be a problem. I have found aircraft launched torpedoes to be a big problem, and especially if you're in a battleship, a well conducted, well coordinated aerial assault, there's basically nothing you can do. You are reliant on your teammates, and it looks like that's something that's only going to get worse as you go up the tiers, which I must admit fills me with a certain sense of dread. I mean, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, if you're at low tiers and a carrier launches, let's say for example a Langley, because that's the one I have, launches a torpedo bomber wing at you, then it's one squadron, you see the squadron of torpedo bombers coming, turn into them, you can avoid the worst of the torpedoes, fine. If there's two torpedo bomber squadrons, which means either two Langleys for example, or higher tier carriers, they can approach you perpendicular to each other, meaning that you have one straight ahead, one coming from straight ahead, one coming from your broadside. Whichever way you turn, you're going to give your broadside to some of them, and you're going to take a lot of pain. And when you get to very high tiers, the planes move very quickly, so you can't really, or as far as I can gather anyway, the planes move very quickly, so you can't really turn your ship in time to especially if you're in a battleship, to mitigate the damage from those. And so you're entirely reliant on your teammates, on your own carriers for providing fighter cover, and on your cruisers for providing escort. And I mean, this is online gaming. I don't like the concept of being reliant on my teammates, I'm gonna be honest with you. But I'm not up to that yet, so I'm not gonna complain too much about that. The other thing I've noticed recently, actually, because of course, you know, they've just released the German cruiser line and the Soviet-Russian destroyer line. There are quite a lot of destroyers, and especially, I mean, this is the EU server, people seem to love everything German, especially a lot of German cruisers going around, and this has made life, I mean, when I've been trying to play a destroyer, it's made life very difficult, because you end up getting spotted for from all of the destroyers around. There aren't any battleships for you to feast on, or not many. And because there's loads of cruisers, and I mean, those three classes are kind of rock, paper, scissors in World of Warships. Your destroyers wreck battleships, battleships wreck cruisers, and cruisers wreck destroyers. And because there's loads of cruisers around, it's making it very difficult to be effective in destroyers. So at the moment, I'm going to be putting destroyers a bit on the back burner, until everyone gets all the, oh look, there's shiny new German cruisers out of their system. Because that's kind of, yeah, a bit of a problem for destroyer gameplay. So, just before I show you the games I was going to show you, I wanted to highlight one thing about ammunition choice, I guess. So, a lot of people in the game seem to just spam HE rounds at everything. Maybe firing some AP if they're in a battleship, certainly at the lower tiers, the tiers I've been playing. But you can get a long way if you know when to fire, or this is my experience anyway, you can get a long way if you know when to fire armor piercing at someone. So, this is a game, or these are screenshots from a game that I had in the Phoenix, the tier 4 American cruiser. Great ship, by the way, I love my Phoenix. And the reason I'm showing this is because we got right to the end of the game and it was me and an enemy Phoenix. And there were a couple of other ships on our team, but they weren't close enough to the enemy Phoenix to do anything. The timer was counting down, there wasn't long left on the match. We were under a minute. The enemy Phoenix had more health than me, and so I just went for it because we had to kill that guy in order to win. If we didn't kill this last Phoenix, we weren't going to win. So I went for it, and I loaded armor piercing, and he loaded high explosive. And the net result was that, well, you can see from this score screen, we won. I was just able to out DPM him and kill him in very short order. You can see there I've got 4 Citadel hits. You can see that I came top of our team with 1607 base experience. I mean, I got 14,909 AP damage in very short order. And got some, HE shots on other people. But my point was that it was this was me experimenting with AP ammo, basically, in this game. And I thought, I'm never going to kill this guy with HE alone, so I might as well try AP and see what happens. And it worked very well, and as a result, I was able to do, 23, 45, 60,000 damage in that game, which I was really chuffed with at the time. So, knowing when to shoot AP, it seems to be a very useful skill, if you will, a very useful thing to do, especially if you're in cruisers, because they have the kind of middling guns, and so they're the ones where you really want to be choosing your ammunition type with care. Generally speaking, battleships fire AP at everything, destroyers fire HE at everything, cruisers, mix it up a bit. Fire HE at destroyers, HE at battleships, but AP at other cruisers as a general kind of rule. Anyway, so I had this game where my AP rounds were very successful. And that led on to this game. So, yeah, 152 shots fired, or 152 hits, I should say. 2 planes shot down, 10 Citadel hits, so I fired my fair share of AP in this game. 173,000 credits, 2,248 experience. It was a pretty good game. And that 2,248 XP is base XP. Wasn't any modifiers or anything. We got 43, basically, 1,000 damage from AP hits, and this was me just wrecking enemy cruisers with the AP rounds on this ship. You can see there Tenryu, Isakaze, that's a destroyer, so never mind, Kuma, there were a couple of others, just absolutely wrecking their cruisers. Combined damage total of almost 100,000 on a tier 4 ship. I was pretty, and still am pretty proud of that. So that's just kind of building on the last screenshot I showed you. AP is really useful in the right situation. So, yeah, use it. The other thing I wanted to mention that I've improved on is torpedo drops, basically. Since I've found out that it actually gives you this little guide to where to launch your torpedoes, it's made life a lot easier. And so we had, for example, this game in the Isakaze, the tier 4 Japanese destroyer, and 1,390 base XP. The bottom line is 48,000 torpedo damage. And that led on to this game, where, okay, it wasn't as many credits and all that jazz, but the bottom line was 72,000 torpedo damage. So, yeah, that was fairly nice. So this is just kind of me playing with, managing to get a bit of a grasp on torpedoes. I should point out, I'm still not a massive fan of Japanese destroyers. I prefer their American counterparts. To me, torpedoes aren't reliable enough to be a main weapon system. I prefer them as a support weapon, and your guns as your main weapon system. So it means I'm not actually a massive fan of the, the Isakaze and all that jazz. But nonetheless, I've managed a couple of games where we've had some nice torping damage. So, I guess let's try and play some games. This is actually the second time I've tried to record this. The first time it went all bugger up, as you may well notice. The two ships I want to show you, I was going to show you, there's the Kuma here and then the Phoenix. You'll notice I've already actually got my daily double on the Phoenix because I did that the first time I recorded this video, so let's try again. We'll kick off with the Kuma, actually, that's the Isakaze. The Kuma. So the Kuma is a fairly decent machine at tier 4. You know, it's a light cruiser. Its armor is absolutely woeful. Has respectable guns. Well, good enough anyway. Decent torpedoes. It's basically got the same 7-kilometer range torpedoes you get on the Japanese destroyers. Oh, this is not nice match. Well, it's not that it's not nice matchmaking. It's just not as good matchmaking as I had for the other game where the recording balked. Anyway, yeah, you got these 7-kilometer torpedoes in 2 sets of 2 on the side of the ship. You've got a catapult fighter, which can be nice just for trying to drive off the inevitable enemy torpedo bombers and whatnot. I just don't think this ship is as good as the Phoenix. It's a different flavour of ship. So we've got these guns with a 12.4 kilometer range, which at tier 4, it's alright, but it's nothing particularly special. You only have 7 guns, but because 5 of them are centre mounted in these turrets, it means you have a broadside of 6. A full broadside of 6, which is fairly nice. Going to start off with HE in case we run into one of those destroyers. What destroyers are they anyway? There's a Minakaze and a Gremiashki. Oh, woo. Minakaze made of torpedoes. Gremiashki made of guns. So that'll be fun. Well, let's head over toward the sea point and see if we can give this Ganevgi. I don't know if it's supposed to be a silent G or not. I have no idea. I haven't heard. Sorry, just on a related note. Unrelated note. I haven't heard particularly great things about some of the German cruisers. So I'm only at the tier 2 myself. But we'll see. So we're doing a healthy 34.5 knots here. Doobie doo dee doo. And we're gonna shoot whatever our. I think it's Ganevni. I'm going to go with it being a hard G. Whatever he spots. That is the plan. We've got a trio of battleships in support. There's 1 aircraft carrier on each side. No, it's a Ziho, it's the tier 5. So that could be interesting. If it looks like we're going to have a shed ton of like torpedo bombers and whatnot going for that trio of battleships behind me, I'm going to turn around and launch my catapult fighter and do my best to drive the bad guys off. Although, I mean, this is only a tier 4 cruiser, you don't get the best anti-aircraft complement in the world, and it's not as if you have the defensive fire cooldown that you get at, what, tier 6 or something? So, never mind. It's an Omaha! Switching, oh, and a New York. Okay, no, we're going to stick with HE because we don't know exactly what target we're going to be shooting at first, I guess. Also, it occurs to me that it's just the 2 of us. We can make it if we try. And that's a Gremiashki behind a hill. So, the New York can probably shoot me from there. The American battleships don't have the longest ranged guns in the world. But the Wyoming at tier 4 gets 14.1 kilometer range. I imagine the New York gets more than that. So, 15 kilometer range I would have thought is entirely possible. And there we go. He's trying to shoot me. Omaha. Mine isn't upgraded, so I don't actually know what range the guns on that thing have, and I don't have the range to shoot the Ganevni. Sorry, the Gremiashki. Oh, good lord. The Russian destroyer over there. Russian? Soviet? I don't know with that one, to be honest. That annoying little blighter. Let's go with that. Sorry, Mr. Ganevni. You've capped, which is great, but I don't really know what you're expecting me to do to help you. Okay, there's some battleships who hopefully are going to get over there, but I just don't have the guns to deal with these guys, or the armor, or the mobility, or anything. So I'm having to be rather more cautious. Aha! Hello, little Minakaze. You, however, I am in range of and can shoot. There's the broadside of 6 guns. Will any of those shots land? Yes, they'll land on the mountainside. Into the Hall of the Mountain King with you. Minakaze needs to die. Minakaze needs to die. Minakaze needs to die. But I can't shoot him, so let's switch to the New York. And see if I can just make his day suck by HE spamming him in the face. I think he'll appreciate it. That Omaha is going to give me problems, though. Please miss, please miss. Way, I hit you. Ah, you hit me. Boo, boo and indeed hiss. I've got AP loaded for this guy on the basis that he's in a cruiser. His armour isn't great, so hopefully I can get some AP pens. Ah, he's also sailing away. Ooh, okay, no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. New York decided I didn't need my citadel and just went, nope, pop, there goes half my health. That's the thing with these light cruisers. I mean, cruisers in general, but like these light cruisers, if a battleship shoots you, you are all kinds of host. Let me rephrase, if a battleship manages to hit you, you're whole kinds of hosed. Have we lost our... Yeah, we lost that Gnevny, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I'm trying to... Oh, I am actually in range to still shoot these guys. Huh. Surprising. Not anymore, I'm not. Okay, so... Oh, Lord. Okay, let's try and swing around this sort of island. That's the word I've been looking for. Not mountain, not hill. It's an island because it's surrounded by water. Oh, my brain is crap sometimes. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Swing round here and try and land some more shots into people. Is anyone actually in range? I mean, Akaze looks like he's pretty much dead. I'm not getting a good feeling about this game, but never mind. Can we get into range to do something about that New York? Well, looks like we're about to find out. His guns are not pointing in my direction. Okay. Has he still got an Omaha friend? No, it looks like the Omaha friend went away. Okay. Let's see if we can HE spam this New York into, you know, next century. There's only 6 of us left. This is not going well. And if I was in a Phoenix, I'd already be shooting by now. But I'm not. So I'm not. Oh, and there's the Miyogi. Oh, crud. And there's the worming. Is the Miyogi looking at me? No. But he's closer and he's a nice easy target to shoot at, even if he does have shed tons of health. What? Oh, for goodness sake, come on, get off that, get off that. And someone's shooting me. I really don't think much of my chances here. I think going over here was actually an incredibly bad idea. I do usually like cruisers and normally at least don't completely suck out in them. Well, let's get a brace of torpedoes away as I try and run for cover. And set this guy on fire and see how much damage I can rack up before our team likely demises. Demises? That's not even a word. Before our team's likely sudden but inevitable demise. Actually, there's nothing sudden about it. Has he dodged all of my torps? Oh, that makes me sad. Well played to him. It's not like I was using my rudder and engine and all that jazz. I'm sure it'll be fine. Of course the enemy team's taking the lead. Worked that one out. There we go. I get taken down, but I actually managed to take off quite a lot of that Miyogi's health. So that wasn't too shabby. Kagumo, which one? Who's Kagumo? What's he in? I think he's the guy who just wrecked me. Kagumo is in he's in a Minakaze, and he just racked up Devastating Strike and High Caliber, so well done to him. Oh, that wasn't me then he did it on, because it wasn't a Devastating Strike. I was already wrecked. Oh wow, our Wyoming just took a battering, and our Zuho, and our Miyogi, and oh Christ, they're just over on the... I think our Miyogi's disconnected. No, the front turret is still moving. He's not disconnected, he's just run into the edge and trying to de-edgeify himself. Fair enough. I was just going to see this to conclusion. I'm just curious exactly how it ends. I think I have a pretty good idea. It ends with these guys at the bottom of the sea. So yeah, our aircraft carrier is pretty much dead. He's burning. He's burning all over the place, and there he goes. He is down. Just our Miyogi left, and he's facing off against, well, a Congo that he can see, and I think that guy behind him. Wonder if that's the Minakaze in question. The one on 4 kills. Oh no, it's the Gremiashki. Oh, fair enough. I stand corrected. Ah, there's the Minakaze. Oh. I expect torpedoes are in the water. I actually quite like the Miyogi as far as battleships go. I'll show some gameplay in it at some point, and I'll probably suck out in it. I had one game where I only hit 8 shots. Oh, there's the inevitable torpedo spread. I only hit 8 shots, but 5 of them were Citadel hits, and so I ended up with over 50,000 damage and top of our team on XP, regardless. So, okay. 67 hits, 4 fires, 10 times did I defend the base. And I finished 3rd on our team behind our Minakaze and Azuho, so behind our 2 tier 5s. Well, 2 of our tier 5s, so that actually wasn't too shabby. Well played to the Minakaze, who just basically wrecked face. What did we do? We got 1,782 AP shell hits, 13,000 HE shell hits, and 21,000 damage from fire. I think we picked up a lot of that damage on the Miyogi, whose name is Gay Barbarian, which is fantastic. I hadn't noticed that before. So, that was the Kuma. In my opinion, for the number of times... So, if you're comparing the 2 tier 4... well, let's ignore the Germans for now, because I haven't played the tier 4. If you're comparing the 2 tier 4 cruisers, the Japanese and American, the Miyogi and the Phoenix... Sorry, not Miyogi. The Kuma and the Phoenix. The Kuma gets better torpedoes and a catapult fighter. The Phoenix is faster, gets better guns, despite the fact that the Kuma has a bigger broadside. Phoenix gets better guns, and it's more durable. So I vastly prefer the Phoenix over the Kuma. The Kuma's not a bad ship, but I do definitely prefer the Phoenix. I'm just slowly unlocking the Furutaka with my Kuma. So let's jump into a game with the Phoenix. As I said, you can see I've already got my daily double in it. But we'll see what we can do. We'll try and wreck some face, hopefully. With any luck. I also noted, I mean, the Kuma's guns are smaller than the Phoenix's. Phoenix gets 152 mils, the Kuma gets 140 mils, or 14 centimeters, whatever. One thing I've noticed comparing the two guns, what is it? Oh, this is a tier 6 game, oh dear. One thing I've noticed comparing the gun performance on each ship, and that's what you end up using most of the time, even though the Kuma has better torpedoes, you end up using the guns most of the time. The AP shells on the Kuma very rarely get any citadel penetrations, which is kind of annoying, but there we go. So, tier 6 game. Well, that means there are big guns that can just wreck me in like one salvo without any difficulty. So, eventually when the map loads up, we do need to be a bit careful. That sounds like we might have connected. Come on, come on. There we go. Let's go. I'm not actually sure if the Phoenix is more durable. I said it was, but that's because in my head it had more health than it does. I get confused with it because the St. Louis, I think it's the St. Louis, has more health at tier 3 than the Phoenix does at tier 4. And when you have this thing stock, it's kind of a bit disappointing after the St. Louis because you have fewer guns and all this jazz. But when you have it fully upgraded, you're still fewer guns, but it's a very nice number of guns. 10 guns and 2 broadsides of 5, basically. And you've got these triple torpedo launchers in the tail. Shorter range torpedoes than on the Kuma. But you don't rely on them as your primary weapon, and they can be a nice little surprise for people. Nice little sting in the tail. Very rarely actually use them, but when you do use them, it's quite funny. So, I want to be careful here. I don't just want to sail around what I've done before. Sailed around the headland of, just over there, and instantly regretted it as I took all the shots in the face. So, let's not do that again. That was actually in the Soviet, Russian, I don't know which it is, tier 2 destroyer. And it was just because I thought I'm in a destroyer, I'm fast enough, I'll just nip round there, see if there's anything there, but nope. The lower tier Russian destroyers' speed, not so much their thing. See if I can give this Skanevny a bad day. At the very least, make him reconsider his options and go somewhere else. And I'd currently be out of range in the Kuma. Whereas the Phoenix, I can potentially still hit this guy. Not that I am actually hitting him, but the potential's there. Nah, he's out of range now. But it gave him something to think about, so I can work with that. Oh, torpedo bombers! All of the torpedo bombers. Our Omaha's escorting that New York, so that should help the New York out. Oh, and he's got another Phoenix with him as well. So, I mean, lower tier cruisers don't have the best AA guns in the world, but it's enough to give. Oh, and there's some fighters come in. Between them, it's enough to give some torpedo bombers a bit of a headache. Right, Fuso. Torpedoes dead ahead? Oh, never mind. Let's see if we can give this Fuso a bad day. Well, if those two guys are going to cluster up, I guess I'll take advantage. See if we can focus down this Omaha. Just adjust my aim a little bit. My aim is not particularly good. There we go. And he is done. Fuso's not having a particularly great time of things. Let's make his day slightly worse. Not sure how fast the Fuso is, so I don't know how much I have to lead this. Though those shots didn't look too bad. A little bit more lead wouldn't hurt, but they weren't too bad. There we go. Let's just rack up the hits on this guy. I do love shooting battleships with HE. It's so incredibly satisfying. Of course, the battleships hate it, but, you know. And if I'm in a battleship, I hate it too. He's on fire, but I'm not currently in a battleship, so let's just have fun with it while I can. Oh no, I've taken a hit. Oh well. He's sailing away from me. Oh dear. Alba. I'm not going to be able to shoot that Fuso for much longer, so let's do something about this Alba, Aoba. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce it. I'm bad at pronouncing things, let's be honest. See if we can fling some AP at him. There we go. Not currently getting any penetrations. I mean, this guy is a higher tier than me, so if I fail to penetrate repeatedly... Oh no, there we go, there's a bit more damage. Then I'll switch shells again. I think I need to get out of dodge now, if I'm honest. Kuma. I think there's a few too many of them here. Hey, Citadel hit on the Kuma. Always good for a laugh. If this guy's just going to keep sailing in a straight line, then I'm going to keep lighting him up like a little Christmas tree. Or hopefully getting Citadel penetrations on him anyway. There's another Citadel. And he is done. Because 4 Citadel penetrations on that poor little Kuma. Right, who's next? Furutaka. No idea what the armor on that guy's like. Let's find out. Am I just doing like 310? Oh no, 1023, never mind, yeah. AP will do the job. Just adjust my aim a bit. I'm not hitting many of these. It's kind of annoying, never mind. Ow, I took another hit there. I'm slightly worried by how few of us there are over here, actually. There's another Citadel. And he is done. Right, who's next? I think it's going to have to be that Carl's. So we'll stick with the AP. These are all destroyers. Oh, we won. Huh, that worked out okay. In the end, I didn't think we were going to win that, but as it turned out, that went alright. So, yeah. 72 hits, 2 ships destroyed, 2 fires, 8 Citadel penetrations, 14 times did I defend the base. Did I get base reset points? So that wasn't too shabby. 98,000 credits. Just shy of 1,300 base experience and 565 free XP. Finished top of our team. Hey, it was a good game in the Phoenix. Because the previous game I had in the previous set of recordings was a very mediocre game, so hey, maybe the fact that it all went wrong and crashed was a good thing, who knows. And there you can see I was firing AP most of the time because most of the guys I was shooting at were cruisers. 5,000 or 5,500 fire damage, 8,500 HE shell damage, 36,500 AP shell damage. Because, yeah, you've got to love them Citadel hits. Of which I got, was it? No, 8 Citadel hits. And if I hadn't fired that AP, I'd have had a bit more damage from fires, and I'd have done a bit more module damage, but I wouldn't have actually done as much actual damage, if that makes sense. So I'm quite happy with that as a result. Yeah, Phoenix, a lot of fun. And this was a tier 6 game in a tier 4 cruiser, so like I say, Phoenix, lots and lots of fun. Of course, because there's no accelerate crew training option or anything, my Phoenix, every time I play it now, is just accumulating XP, which I could convert to free XP at some point if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to. So, yeah. So there we go, you got to see a couple of games. How did the Kuma game go in the end? I don't think it was very good, was it? Was this the Kuma game that we had? Did I suck out completely? Oh yeah, I got 67 hits and some base defense points. Was it this one? Possibly. I don't even remember, to be honest. It should be the game we just had, so it should be this one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, there we go. Destroyed by Thune in the Karlsruhe. It's where the Minakaze wrecked face. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't a bad showing in the Kuma, actually, either. But I do personally prefer the Phoenix. I think it's just more fun. And in my opinion, more effective. The extra bit of range on the guns really helps. And I know I need to buy some equipment for a lot of my ships, because I haven't got any. But I'll get onto that when I can be bothered. But the extra range on the guns is nice. The larger caliber of the guns on the Phoenix is good. The fact that because you've got 5 guns per broadside, you can do the Circle of Death, or whatever you call it, really easily, where you just sail around in circles, make it hard for people to hit you, and just hold down the left mouse button, slamming people with shell after shell after shell. It's very satisfying to do, and it's what I was doing in that last game with the Phoenix. So yeah, I thought I'd show you those 2 cruisers. I have no idea what ships I'll show you in the next video. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to try and work on, if you will, in between now and then. I don't know, but I'm still having fun in the game, although sometimes RNG can kick you in the teeth. You know, I was taking out the Kuma and the Isakaze yesterday. It didn't matter what I did. I would get my engine taken out, I'd get my rudder taken out, I'd be on fire, I'd use my repair crew, and then it would all happen again. I was like, oh, for goodness sake. Got kind of frustrating. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos. I've got a few other Warships videos if you're interested in them. And or subscribe to my channel, and I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.